the real story behind why loads of homes are not selling and how to move yours now.
And I mean, like,
Jeremy Larkin here. Welcome to the Real Estate Morning Drive with my business partner,
Jesse Paul.
That's right. We're over at the Larkin Group, KW Realty. And Jesse, we're going to talk about, the emoji where it's like the ghoul and the face is like, it's a scary, scared ghoul.
Yeah.
I want that. That's what should be on this. I don't know if that should be on the screen. Okay. But we have some data to kind of knock people's socks off about it's actually two sides of a coin that we're going to talk about today. And if you're a seller and you're listening to our show and you're like, my home is not moving and I've been on the market for 2, 3, 6, 12 months sometimes, and my home isn't selling, this show is for you. If you're a seller who's thinking about listing your home anytime in the next 6 months, this show is for you, right? Show is brought to you by our friends at Guild Mortgage and our good friends at Blueform Media. By the way, we're recording in the Blueform Media studios this December. And, baby, it's cold outside. I don't know. I want to have every show, I want to have a little Christmas song intro. Jesse Paul.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about this, man. You're working with a lot of clients. Let's talk about what sellers are experiencing, because in the last 90 days, we got a number. How many people quit trying to sell? How many people gave up selling their home in the last 90 days?
602.
Okay, I want you to think about this. 602 families. When you hear like people, 602. Let's say some 602 families who got excited and had a dream and said, we're going to move to the place for the reason. And they prepped their home, and maybe they told the kids, we're moving, especially if they told the kids they're moving. Or maybe they're downsizing. We work with, we specialize in working with downsizing and empty nesting clients. And maybe they said, we're going to move to an assisted living facility because it's just too hard to manage this on our own. Any number of scenarios. Or they alerted their tenants, Jesse, hey, we're sorry to bum you out, but we're selling the house, right? And they prepared the home and they spent some money and they spent some time and they got so excited and they put the sign in the yard and they were just waiting for an offer. And 6 months passed.
Yep.
And they gave up. This is crazy, right? 602 families, homeowners said, I guess my home isn't going to sell, right? That's heavy.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into what's going on, here's the flip side. If you heard it and you said, he's right, it's hopeless, I didn't say it. How many homes did sell, Jesse?
It was like 1,156. So 1,156.
1,156 families went through that exact process. It might have been harrowing. There might have been starts and pauses and stops and delays and weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, because this is what moving is about. But 1,156 families moved. They made it. But 602 didn't. And if you do the math on that, guys, that means 1 in every 3 listings is literally not only not selling, it's not selling. And the listing expired or was canceled. First of all, let's define 2 things, Jesse.
Okay.
Because when we throw the term expired around, what does that mean?
So that means that the basically the contract that you would have with your agent is expired. So when you list your home, there's a certain time frame attached to that contract. So it'll expire on a certain date.
Typically, what's a typical listing term?
So 6 months.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, I already know what you think, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I'm going to change it. I don't like yes or no questions. Salespeople never ask sales yes or no questions. How many people, Jesse, that you work with who come to you and say, we have this dream to move, ever consider that their home won't end up selling and they'll just have to quit?
0.
Isn't that interesting?
Well,
but pretty much 0.
Maybe 99%. You always have that one that they always think things are going to go wrong.
Yeah.
So 99% well, it's going to go great. It's going to just sell. We're going to get to what we're asking. This is awesome.
Yeah. And then the listing expires. All right. And so just remember that if this is you, if you find if this story is, you're like, this is my story, you're not alone. Okay. Number two, part of those 602 who failed to sell canceled their listing. Why would someone cancel a listing, Jesse? Help us understand that.
They just realize that they can't get what they want, so we'll just try again another time. Or something's gone wrong with the listing and they need to start over, whether that's with the marketing, with the pricing, with maybe had a bad time with their agent, want to make a change. Sometimes it can be just to refresh a listing, like cancel it and relist it under a whole new listing. So a lot of different reasons.
Yeah. It's fascinating. I was just looking at a list of some people that we've helped, Jesse, who I have one right now. As we record this show, I have a client who spent.
You're negotiating one.
I have an offer right now over asking price on a listing with someone who tried to sell their home through the summer. It's a family. They own a rental in Hurricane. They own many rentals, and they don't even know that I know of. They don't even know that I have an offer that is over asking price for them, and they spent months on the market trying to sell with other people. Right? It's interesting. John and Kay, who are some great clients of ours, they were in Sun River and live in the Entrada area. But years, when we worked with them, I was reading something he shared with me, and he said, Jeremy's for once a plan. He had sent me this little testimonial, which I was so grateful. For once, a plan that was simple and straightforward instead of a bunch of sales jargon. Get your heads out of the clouds, bite the bullet. Along with the wake-up call came a complete array of selling tools to get the home exposed. I only share this because we know that a lot of people are in this boat, right? And they don't envision that their home won't sell, okay? It's interesting. I'd say, Jesse, over our decades in business, we've probably helped, 100 plus families get out of this scenario. And we developed something that I call the Listing Revival Blueprint. And I want to talk about what you do if your home isn't selling, okay? The blueprint is fascinating because it's the composition. There are three areas. There are three things that are causing you problems right now if your home isn't selling. Okay. And Jesse, what are the three general areas, the big overarching areas that cause homes to not sell? They're what?
Preparation, presentation, and pricing.
Yeah. Preparation defined as what?
Like getting the home ready. Let's get it deep cleaned. Let's get it staged.
Do I really need to fix the light bulb in my entryway?
Yes.
Okay, sure. That kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
Wait, but is it okay if some of them are bright white and some of them are warm white?
Nope.
Yeah. We're talking that kind of granularity.
Like really get the home ready so when a buyer walks in, they're like, wow.
Do we really need to clean carpets?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Cool. So preparation. Pricing is pricing.
Yep. It's just, how are we going to price this against our competition?
Jesse, can we actually price offensively as a seller versus defensively? Yeah. What we call sweet spot pricing. Jesse, you've told us something over the years. Your home will sell within how many days once it hits the sweet spot?
15. I started saying 30 because it takes into account all of the different markets, right? You've got, but in the general market, under 600,000, 700,000, 15 days.
I had a listing that Jesse was priced at $369,000. We probably had, by the way, you may not even be getting showings if your home is on the market. And this is for you, right? But 2 weeks into the listing, we had an offer that failed, came and went. And we probably were getting 5 showings a week. I mean, 2 weeks in, we were over 2 weeks. I think we were like 12 showings. And we got an offer that was $350. It was $339. $369 is our asking price.
Yep.
Okay. Is this normal in this market right now?
Yes.
Okay. So $30,000 below ask. I went back to my sellers and I said, listen, you have 2 options. One is we can reduce the price right now, and I'll bet you get 2 offers and maybe 3. We can reduce it by $10,000. The other is we can counter back just $10,000 below what you're asking if you feel good about it. and get the thing done. Well, we counter back 359. Here's the crazy part. Number one, we got a 30K below asking price offer.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, the buyer accepted our counter 20K higher than they offered.
Yeah.
20K higher. We came back 20. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I didn't tell my sellers to come back 10K higher. Well, here's the funny part. Had they reduced their price by 10 grand, would they have probably had multiple offers?
Yep.
Yeah. They might have actually sold it for 365, an extra $5,000. Presentation. Presentation is defined as what?
How are we presenting it online? What is the marketing message?
Marketing.
How is the photography?
Yeah.
You know, do we have a really good photographer that showcases this home?
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about this, Jesse, the listing revival blueprint. So pricing, preparation, and what did we say?
Presentation.
Pricing, presentation, and preparation. Thank you. Here's what we did. The listing revival blueprint is this. Basically, here's what you're going to need to do, guys. You're going to need to audit your home. And if you're not having this conversation, if your agent isn't calling you and having this conversation, sounding the alarm, then you need to sound the alarm. Jesse, why don't agents, because this is really normal, why don't agents sound the alarm with their sellers more, with their seller clients?
Well, first of all, it's a hard conversation.
Yeah, because I don't think it's stupidity. I don't think we have an intelligence problem.
It is a very hard conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, the market is rejecting us.
Yeah.
Like we've got to.
Yeah.
We have to brainstorm together. We have to become a team. Let's figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of times the seller's looking at us and they're like, "Hey,
what do you think?
What do you tell me?"
Have you ever had this question where a seller calls you, the home's not moving, and they go, "Just tell us what to do," and you still, even then, don't want to tell them? You got to drop at 30 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
I have.
We all have.
Yeah.
I have one right now. I have a client right now who their home is for sale, and there was a challenge in their HOA. And I think this kind of share is so important.
It's a hard one too. Oh.
Yeah, I think that, yes. And I think the share is so important because realtors love to only talk about what's going well. Let me talk about one that's not going well. These are great folks. These are great folks. There was a massive shift in what the HOA was doing. And by the way, this is not like a secret to buyers. It's buyers know it. That's why it's not selling. Mm-hmm. This isn't like, oh shoot, he's not telling the buyers. Oh no. We are high disclosure, right?
Yep.
There was a shift in the way that the HOA was managing rentals, and it killed. Guys, it is an example of in a market that is a certain way, that in a specific subdivision, it's a completely different way. Literally, it's not only a buyer's market, it's a horrible, nasty buyer's market in a specific subdivision. One subdivision because of an HOA policy change. These folks are looking at losing 200 grand on a property they bought in 21. And we chatted last week, and he said, "What should I do?" And I said, "Well, remember how we said that we thought at $999 it would move, and then $975, and then we hoped at $929 it would move? Well, it's not moved." Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is a hard conversation. So if your agent isn't sounding the alarm, you need to sound the alarm, and you need to blow the trumpets or whatever they did back in, like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, and they're like, the bad guys are coming, and all the films, Braveheart, and sound the alarm. Because Jesse, here's my fear for sellers right now. That a whole bunch of them are saying something. And if you're listening and you've heard yourself say this, listen extra closely. I think it'll get better next year. We'll wait.
Yeah, let's just wait. Well, and we heard that just recently. Hey, let's wait till after the election. It's going to be great. Mm-hmm. After this, after the first of the year, it's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. After the holidays, it's going to be great. I
heard this incredible quote. I want to say it's Robin Sharma, but it wasn't Robin Sharma. It's one of these great authors. He's written some beautiful books, but for some reason, I think it's Robin, and it's not. He said, "Stop living the same year over and over again. and calling it a life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which means not changing.
Yeah. Not moving forward.
So my fear, Jesse, is this. We've watched this happen. When a market starts to shift, like the St. George real estate market has shifted. And hey, look, guys, we're just speaking to the public. I may be helping you as a seller reduce your price and get serious or make the change you need to. And your agent should be sending me a thank you card. But hear me out. When markets start to shift like this, they shift slowly, and then
fast.
And then suddenly and fast. And when they shift fast, here's what happens. The first few sellers who beat everyone else to the punch in their neighborhood on pricing win. And everybody else does what behind them?
And then they get less.
They chase them down.
Yeah, they have to chase it.
It's what we call a race to the bottom. Seth Godin, one of my favorite authors, calls it race to the bottom. It's a race to the bottom. I didn't say the market's crashing. You know, guys, we're just talking about the fluctuation. Here's a great analogy. Jess, have you ever been to the ocean?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought you would say yes.
Just recently.
Okay. Where did you go?
Jamaica.
Oh, that's right. Jamaica.
The Caribbean.
When I graduated from Dixie High School, they had a big party and it was called Jamaican Me Crazy, and it was all Jamaican themed, and it was actually a lot of fun.
That's good. I like that.
When they talked about the waves crashing, they did crash. That was that kind of a crash. It crashed down.
Yep.
And what would happen is the wave would roll out, but what would always happen? Every single time the water rolled out of the shore, eventually it would do what?
It would come back.
It would come back. You know, when the waves crash and then pull away, you don't go, oh my gosh, the ocean is broken.
No, it's because it always comes back.
Real estate markets are like the ocean. They come and they go. And if you look back, guys, we have data that we talked about. The median home price of a property in St. George in 1970 was $23,000.
Wow.
In 1980, it was $46,000. By the year 2000, it was, you're pushing, I don't know, 100 and something.
Oh, okay.
2010, it was 200K. And 2024, it's 500K.
So 2019, I'm looking at it right here. The median sale price was $310,000.
Okay. So the median sales price in 2019 was $310,000. Today it's $510,000, $520,000, five something.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't even matter what the number is. It's in the fives. Waves come and they go. Real estate markets come and go. Every 10 years, going back 50, home values have actually gone up. But you know what they've done in between every single 10? They went down some. Overall, they went up, but they went down. The wave crashed. The water went away. But here's what happens. People get left. And unless, for sellers, you are literally telling me, I got 3 to 5 years, I would say be first. I want to have, okay, listing revival blueprint, guys. We assess, we examine 11 aspects of your listing to determine what went wrong and how to resolve it. And I'm going to rattle them off. Pricing strategy, photography and media, marketing exposure, online presence, curb appeal, staging and presentation, accessibility. You're like, what does that mean? Well, was it easy for people to schedule a showing? Targeted buyer outreach, was the right audience targeted for this home? Agent follow-up. I had an offer come in over the weekend.
Yep.
I immediately went back to all of the agents who had shown the property and said, I have an offer on this property now. Do you want to offer? And I called directly the agent who told me that his people were really motivated, but they had a home to sell in Taylorsville, and said, if you want to offer, you have to do it now.
Yep.
That's called agent follow-up. Number 10, market timing. Was the listing launched during an optimal market period? Like, did you actually understand the difference in, our show last week is understanding the reality of selling during the holidays. And number 11, local competition. So that's a lot.
Right.
That is 11 aspects of a listing to understand. It's an audit. Nobody likes an audit, do they? Well,
you have to look at everything that needs to happen to sell a house. Did it happen? Okay, what needs to happen for this to happen this time? Did that happen? Okay, what do we need to change?
Yeah, Jesse, yes. I mean, yes, 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 and yes. Guys, as we wrap up today, we got 3 minutes on our show. You know, I want to wrap up, Jesse, with this conversation. 602 families don't sell their home in the last 90 days. 1,150 do.
Yep.
It proves to us that there is absolutely a robust market. A whole bunch of people are listing their home right now. We did a show on the holidays that states that there will actually be less competition in the month of December than in January, but probably by far. Here's the fun part. Let's talk about right now 18 families we have in a contract to buy or sell. Okay. Let's just talk about where these homes are selling. I mean, Cedar City, Hurricane, Ivins, Santa Clara, St. George, St. George, St. George, St. George, St. George. Brand new build on Half Dome Circle, Indian Hills Drive, St. George.
Got 2 more coming too.
Yep. Yeah.
Like one in St. George, one in Hurricane, one in St. George.
Yeah.
That are
perfect.
We're working on.
Yep. Riverstone between Sun River and Bloomington. A Salisbury Homes purchase for one of our clients. Let's see, Washington. Desert Color again, Green Springs, Washington Fields. You know, people are buying and selling all over Washington County. And if you're getting left out, it doesn't mean the market won't support the sale of your home. It means that there's a mismatch, a misalignment in what is happening with either the price, condition, or marketing of your property. And the listing revival blueprint is about taking those 3, pricing, marketing, and preparation, and saying, let's actually get granular. Let's look at 11 aspects of your home and find out what's going on. I think I don't know. This is going to be an interesting market as we move into 2025. Jesse, there's a data point that Zillow gave to us that said that 23% of buyers and sellers have been doing what the last 6 months? But 23% of potential buyers and sellers have been doing what?
Just sitting on the sidelines.
They're sidelined,
just thinking about it. Just thinking.
They're sidelined. 23 guys, 1 in 4. 1 in 4. On our previous show talking about the holidays, Jesse showed us that there were actually significantly more home sales at the end of the year, and December and January, in 2019, 20, and 21 than there was in 22 and 23 because of interest rates.
Well, interest rates and just how high the median sale price was, right? If you jump from 300 to 500 in a 4-year period, and then interest rates double, that's a big, massive change.
Yeah. Well, and let me say this, guys. That's me. That's my
2-minute warning.
That's my timer. You know, I saw some news this week from Inman. Inman is a big real estate news firm, and they said that just this, like literally, guys, this last week, that some of the major home forecast outfits downgraded their 2025 forecast, Jesse. And you know what they said? They said the number one factor in us downgrading our forecast is we actually don't think interest rates are going to come down the way that we are planning on. Well, what does that mean for buyers and sellers? It means that sellers need to accept that this is the reality of the market, and buyers have to do the same.
Yeah.
And what will happen is, as we move into 2025, there are just going to be buyers who stay sidelined, and there will be buyers who say, well, never mind, I guess, or not sidelined, I guess we will buy and we'll bank on a later price reduction. But again, most home forecast estimates for 2025 downgraded as we move through December, guys. Downgraded, right? So if you're a seller, call your agent if we don't have agency with you and your home isn't selling, and say, look, I heard a radio show at the Larkin Group, KW Realty, Jeremy Larkin. That guy? Yeah, he's your competitor. He told us we need to sound the alarm. Can we look at every aspect of what's not causing my home to sell? And just trust me. Just tell me if I look ugly in this dress. Just tell me, right? Just tell me if the sweater makes my face look fat, Jesse. And if you're off market and you're out of agency, we're happy to chat with you, and we can run the listing revival blueprint on your home and figure out which of those 11 aspects is out of whack. And it's probably, Jesse, 3 or 4 aspects that are misaligned, a market mismatch. Visit us at gostgeorge.com. That is GOSTGeorge.com, or Google the Larkin Group. Wishing you and yours an incredible holiday. Talk soon.
Thanks for having us.